which means a lot of young people who are tech in this particular case, Vivo V9 is taking a huge margin, which means all these objects in the background, they are not blurred. The margin is very huge, while they're perfectly blurred in the case of Redmi Y2. Then again, Y2 versus J7 Duo, and if you zoom in, you will see the edges of the hair are beautifully captured in case of Y2 as compared to J7 Duo. So you can take amazing selfies in portrait mode, and you can also take amazing group selfies. The usual problem with group selfies when you take in a portrait mode is the person who's taking the selfie is kept in focus and everybody else is blurred. For example, this one was taken today morning with Honor 9 light. And you can see the other 3 people in the portrait mode are blurred because the camera doesn't recognize that these are people who have to be kept in focus. And if you compare it with Redmi Y2, you'll clearly see that the remaining 2 people who are even in the background, they are in focus with Redmi Y2 as compared to Honor 9 Lite. These are some of the shots with group portrait selfies. The person standing in the back wearing a green shirt is also in focus. You can also have 4 people in group selfies. This is probably one of my favorite ones because this is not just a group selfie. This has been taken in low light conditions. And you can see each one of them have been perfectly captured. So you can take amazing group selfies and individual selfies with Redmi Y2. We have also upgraded the front camera. So we are introducing our AI dual camera with Redmi Y2. This is actually the same setup, a very similar setup as what we have on Redmi Note 5 Pro, which is a 12 megapixel primary camera with large 1.25 micron pixels and a 5 megapixel secondary camera. Let me take a second here and explain why this is a better setup than 13+2, which is available in the market. If you look at most of the 13+2 phones, the primary 13 megapixel camera is either 1 micron pixel. In our case, because we use a large 1.25 micron pixels, it helps capture more light, and hence the color that you see over there is significantly better than 13 megapixel 1 or 1.12 micron pixel. And 5 megapixel helps in better edge detection, and hence the portrait mode that you see is significantly better. In fact, 12+5 with 1.25 micron pixel is a lot costlier than 13+2 with 1 or 1.12 micron pixel. This helps in 2 things, the portrait mode and low light photography. Portrait mode, as I explained, this also works on semantic segmentation, and it helps you capture beautiful pictures like this one. The thing that I liked the most about this picture was this has a natural bokeh. Of course, the colors are perfect, but if you see on the right-hand side, as the corridor keeps going deeper and deeper, the amount of bokeh or blur keeps increasing. This one, again, beautifully captured. This was shot in Bangalore on MG Road, this particular picture. This large 1.25 micron pixel also helps with low light photography. The way this works is, and by the way, we used to have phones with 1 micron pixel 2 years ago. And then we introduced 1.12 micron pixel, and then now 1.25. Because each pixel size is bigger, as I said, they capture more light, and you get better pictures. We have 3 phones here, all 3 of them with same megapixel, but one with 1 micron pixel, one with 1.12, and one with 1.25. And you will see from a distance, they will look very similar to each other. But the difference will be a lot clearer when you zoom in. You will see the smartphone one with 1 micron pixel gets a little bit smushed, while it's the most clear and sharp in case of Redmi Y2 with large 1.25 micron pixel. These are some of the sample shots in low light conditions. This was taken at a club. This is Times Square in New York. And my personal favorite, which has been taken during a sunset. So Redmi Y2 is a camera superstar, great front camera, great back camera, and it will be shipped with Android O out of the box and with MIUI 9.5. Now we've spoken a lot about MIUI 9.5, but there's one specific feature that I love and I would like to talk about it, which is the smart photo editing. Now you would have faced this kind of a problem that when you were taking a picture, there would be somebody standing in the background. and you can't do anything about it. Or there would be some object that you cannot move. And with a smart photo editing, you go over there, you just click on it, and that object or that person is removed. It just gives you much cleaner and nicer pictures. So that's what Y2 will be shipped with Android O and MIUI 9.5. We're also introducing the AI-based face unlock, and because of our AI algorithm, it is a lot more secure and a lot faster. And it also comes with a fingerprint sensor on the back that you can use for unlock, or you can use it for taking selfies. I actually take most of my selfies using the fingerprint sensor, and I find it to be incredibly helpful. Now, Redmi Y2 is powered by Snapdragon 625. Actually, I was not expecting. I was expecting a lot of people to say, again, Redmi Snapdragon 625. So yes, of course, we really think that 625 is a great processor, amazing power and performance, especially in this price segment. I don't think there's anybody else who has introduced a Snapdragon 600 series in this price segment. There was a phone launched this week itself, which has Snapdragon 400 series in 14,000–15,000 rupee price range. And they're like, there's nobody else, and there's no processor which will come similar or even close to Snapdragon 625 when it comes to power and performance. Y1 was launched with Snapdragon 435, and Y2 is with 625, which means it is 37% faster and a massive upgrade over Y1. And thanks to the 14nm FinFET technology, it also gives you a great battery life. So even though the battery is similar of 30,080 mAh, but because of this 14nm FinFET technology, it can easily last for more than a day. The standby time on this particular device is 31 days, and if you watch video continuously, it can last for more than 10 hours. We have a dedicated SIM slot, 2+1, dedicated for micro SD. Thank you. And every single unit of Redmi Y2 will be shipped with a free clear case inside the box. And of course, 100% of Redmi Y2 will be made locally here in the country. Now, while we're expanding our manufacturing units in the country, there's something that we're really focusing on, which is quality. Now, I was at a factory a few weeks ago. In fact, this is me holding one of the first few PCBAs that have been manufactured in India. As you know, we have started manufacturing PCBAs, and by next quarter Q3, we really hope 100% of Made in India phones will have locally manufactured PCBAs. Let me show you a quick video on what do we do with respect to quality.
We believe in making quality technology accessible for all our Mi fans. Our smartphones adhere to uncompromising quality standards. All Xiaomi devices are subjected to numerous software and hardware tests, which comply to rigorous testing standards. These tests ensure that our Mi fans get to enjoy the best possible quality devices. We believe in offering unparalleled design with prioritization of quality over everything else.
Xiaomi.
Now, we do a lot of tests. Like one of the tests that we do is we drop devices from 1 meter height on 6 different surfaces, and sometimes as many number times as 200 times to see if the device is working fine or not. We do We insert the headphone jack, remove it almost like 5,000 times. Some things like sidebar fingerprint sensor, we test 5 lakh times, 6 lakh times. But these are the kind of stats that a lot of other brands can come and share. Or you would have seen similar kind of videos from many other brands. So how do you know that Xiaomi phones are genuinely better quality than any other brand in the country? The output metric of all these quality tests is something what we call as FFR, field failure rate. This means if we sell 100 devices, how many of these devices come back with any kind of complaint, whether it be hardware or software, during the lifetime of the product. And there's no external report on field failure rate. It's very difficult to get, but we capture field failure rate of all competition devices as well as Xiaomi devices. And what we here have is the average of top 5 brands in India versus Xiaomi. This is based on our internal data. We believe that Xiaomi's field failure rate, which is the ultimate truth with respect to quality, is about half of what the other top 5 brands have in the country. And that is one of the reasons why the positive word of mouth for Xiaomi is incredibly high as compared to any other brand in the country. And even if people face problem, we have a huge service network, more than 750 service centers across the country. And in case of any cases, we can resolve them within few hours. Today, more than 95% of the cases we are able to resolve within 4 hours. So that's Redmi Y2, guys, a significant upgrade over Redmi Y1. Redmi Y1 was a 16 megapixel front camera. Redmi Y2 is 16 megapixel AI front camera. Redmi Y1 had a single 30 megapixel 1.12 micron pixel camera, while Y2 is 12 plus 5 with large 1.25 micron AI dual camera, 5.5 inch versus 5.99 inch, 18:9 full screen display, Snapdragon 435 versus Snapdragon 625, Android O and AI face unlock. The second thing that we are announcing today is MIUI 10. This is something that we launched in China last week, and I'm happy to share within a week we are bringing it to India. And to talk more about this, I'll call on stage my colleague Sudeep.
Thank you, Manu. Hi, my name is Sudeep Sao, and I'm a product manager here at Xiaomi. Now, not many of you might know this, but MIUI was the first product that I experienced from Xiaomi. And this is our first version in 2010. And MIUI has come a long way ever since. In the span of 8 years, we have had 9 different versions. Just last year, we launched the MIUI 9 here in India. And this was particularly, we had speed focus for this MIUI version. And you guys really loved it. And today, I'm really excited to announce the 10th edition of our MIUI here in India. And there are 4 key areas that I'm going to be sharing with you for MIUI 10. First is speed, second is design, third is sound, and AI portraits. Alright, so in MIUI 9, we had half a dozen of system optimization. Now, all of this was to make sure MIUI is as fast as ever. In MIUI 10, we are introducing 2 more critical system optimization, namely lock-free critical path and code-dependent prioritizing. Now, this ensures that the overall smoothness of MIUI has increased over 10% of the predecessor version. Now, you might be wondering how fast this really is in the real world. So let's do a comparison. We're taking the Redmi Note 5 with MIUI 10 and the Samsung J7 Duo phone. To do the speed test, what we do in our lab is we run all this application and we calculate which application opens first. And we obviously do this under high-speed camera. So let's take a look at the video. saw in the video, Redmi Note 5 Pro with MIUI 10 opened 23 apps versus the 7 from the competitor. That's almost 3 times more application which was opened faster and quicker. So with MIUI 10, we are taking one step further, and we will continue to keep speed as the focus for all the MIUI version in the coming days. So next, let's talk about design, my favorite section. So ever since we have launched the Mi Mix in the world, the entire mobile industry has moved to a full screen era. Now at MIUI, the whole design team has been rethinking how to change our operating system to adapt to this new change. Now this is a huge challenge for all of us here, because every single change that we make is touched by millions of people who use MIUI every single day. So what we did is, the first step, we got rid of the hardware buttons and we introduced the soft keys. But still we think this is not the full optimum usage of the full screen displays. For that, we had full screen display gestures, where we replaced the 3-key Android keys with respective gestures. To go to home screen, all you have to do is swipe from bottom, and to go back, swipe from the edges, and swipe from bottom and hold it to go to the recent view. Now, a lot of you guys really loved it, and trust me, once you start using gestures on phone, be it on application and especially on MIUI 10, you just can't go back. In fact, I toggle between a lot of phones every single day, and sometimes I just miss this feature for other phones also. We also have looked at the evolution of the aspect ratios. Now, earlier phones used to come in 16:9, and today we also have 19:9 ratio. If you look at the top, we have a lot of screen space. The phones are getting taller and taller every single day. And this is one area we wanted to improve. To take for example, the iOS, the stock Android, and our own MIUI. Now with this view, it's fine, it's okay, it does the job, but it has horizontal stack, so you can only see one card at a time. Also, if you notice on the top and the bottom, there's a lot of space which is kind of unused. So in MIUI 10, we are completely redesigning our recent view, and we look for inspiration none other than our own Notes app. So if you look at the Notes app, you see what we have done here with this animation. So we beautifully stack all the cards, and you can swipe instead of horizontally, vertically, which I think is more natural. Not only that, you can also swipe to remove the task, or long press for quick shortcuts like split view. So that's the brand new recent screen. We didn't stop at redesigning just recent view. We also looked at our own design language. Now these are some of the older device phones with a forehead and a chin. And this design kind of looks fine. But if you take it to a full screen device, you'll notice there is a strong sense of segregation with block design and bold colors. So in MIUI 10, we are redesigning our complete operating system. We are removing some of the unwanted extra decoration and visual clutters, and we are restructuring the whole layout and regrouping the items based on the type. So now the MIUI 10 notification, calendar, and weather app looks completely new. It's fresh and crisp. We have done that across the system. These are some of the examples. We have weather app with beautiful animation. We have calendar, which looks super clean. We have also redesigned our home screen, the lock screen. We have voice memo in Notes app, which is really cool. And my personal favorite, the clock app. It's an all black theme. So that's MIUI 10, designed for a full screen experience with keeping in mind the new aspect ratios, which is ever evolving. Next, let's talk about sound. Now, this is kind of also always overlooked because sound is not part of a design, but we at Xiaomi, we think sound is a part of design and very key element. And to be honest, sound kind of makes it tired because you have tons of application and you keep getting bombarded with a ton of notifications. So we thought to look at nature sound, because nature sound never stops inspiring. It's kind of very soothing. Sound of the desert, and this is the sound of the forest. Now you might ask me why nature sound. That's the reason, because nature sound is very pleasant, and no matter how long or how often you listen to this nature sound, your ears never get fatigued or burned out. Let's take an example of water droplets. Listen carefully to the different tones of water droplets here. So we are using the same water droplet as our default notification in MIUI 10. So next time, when you get a notification on your phone, you will hear this. And in case you keep, if you get multiple notifications, just like the water droplets. And together, if you get a ton of notification, you have a nice rhythm and a tone to it. As the saying goes, no two leaves are alike, no two notification sound in MIUI are the same. This is another example we took, the sound of a breeze in a desert. So next time when you delete anything in MIUI, you will hear this, which is built right into the core of the system. In this example, I deleted a Notes app with 2 finger swipe gesture, but even if you delete a photo from a gallery app, you will hear the same soothing sound. Now we have been exploring and collecting a ton of these sound in our library, so we thought of doing something more. So in MIUI 10, we are introducing the ambient noises of nature. And this you can find in a timer app. Now you might wonder why introduce this in a timer app. To be honest, these ambient noises can help you relax and focus, or also during meditation or a yoga session. Personally, I use it to focus on work when I have to do multitasking, or if you go on a code sprint for like an hour or two, I think this will help a lot. You should check it out. So in MIUI 10, we are having few of these ambient noises built in. The first one is the beach. It makes you feel that you are at the beach right now. We also have forest. This is especially good. Actually, I put this on my timer last night when I went back to sleep late. We also have drizzle, which signifies the monsoon and helps you really relax and focus. So that's the sound. We have used nature sound and ambient noises built right into the system of MIUI 10. Up next is AI portraits. Okay, to be frank and honest, the portrait mode in a dual camera has completely changed the way we take pictures and the amount of pictures we take every day. And I think everyone knows how this works already. The primary lens basically keeps the subject in focus, and the secondary lens keeps identifies the depth in the scene. And it creates a beautiful bokeh effect. But the real question is, can you do the same in a single lens camera? Or in this case, a Mi fan asked me, can we do this on a Redmi phone? Because that's what people are buying a lot these days here in India. So of course the answer is yes. Using our deep algorithms, learning algorithms, we ran this over hundreds and thousands of photos, and now we can achieve similar portrait mode even in a single camera lens. For example, here we have taken Redmi Note 4. This is the front camera, and with MIUI 10, you can get such bokeh and clear effects. This also works in low light and indoor conditions. This is on a Redmi Note 3. Again, this was a phone which was launched 2 years back, and with MIUI 10, you can achieve very similar or high quality selfie portraits. Not just front camera, we can also do it on the rear camera. So this is a phone, this is Redmi Note 5 Pro, taken without the MIUI 10. And with MIUI 10, we can achieve beautiful bokeh mode with true depth details. This is another example, Redmi Note 4's rear camera. And MIUI 10 do magic with its MIUI AI portraits. So we are introducing this first on all the supported device. First on the front camera, and then we'll move and introduce it to the rear cameras. All right, let's talk about India customization. Just a refresher, we announced Mi Music last month with association with Hungama. We have over 10 million high quality soundtracks, and my favorite, the dynamic lyrics for the perfect karaoke night sessions. We also introduced Mi Video on the same day, which has over 500,000 hours of content from all the content partners that have partnered with us for Mi TV. So same content on your phone. Next is browser. Now browser is one of the most used application on your system. And in MIUI 10, we are introducing something called app section. Now when you click on the app section, you have all the local services categorized in the utility, shopping, travel, entertainment, and news. Now these are not native app, but they are progressive web apps. Progressive web apps has a lot of advantages. You can get notification, you can create shortcuts, and it behaves almost as close to native Android app experience. For example, let's take Flipkart, book my show, and make my trip. If you click on any of those links, you will see the exact experience what you will find when you install the app from a Play Store. So all the services that you need are only a single tap away, no matter if you want to book ticket, or your hotel, flight tickets, or shop, if you want to shop or book a movie tickets, all stacked up in one place so that you can easily access the services. Up next is digital payment. Now, a lot of you guys have moved over to a digital transaction. Personally, I don't keep any cash in my wallet these days. And you see a lot of these Paytm QR codes. So we wanted to do something on that in MIUI 10. So, yeah. So we are introducing a quick shortcut from a camera app. Now, you might wonder why a camera app. Camera app is always accessible no matter where you are in the phone. It's always a tap away or even a swipe away on the lock screen. So next time you see a QR code, just open the camera and scan the QR code. With one tap, you will redirect you to the application to complete the payment. Next up, the last thing is messaging. Messaging has been a key focus for us at MIUI for a couple of years. Back in 2016, we introduced something called the SMS sender ID. Now, we gave the unknown sender IDs a name and a logo, and Mi fans absolutely loved it. And I'm very happy to announce that as of last month, we can identify up to 65% of all the messages under notification folder. That means 2 out of all the 3 messages we can already identify in MIUI 10. But we wanted to do something more. Now, this is a regular message from ICICI Bank, and I don't think I will ever reply to ICICI saying, hey, what's up, right? So what we are doing is we're removing the reply button, and we are introducing something called the quick menu. Now, this quick menu is contextual. For example, this is a bank message, so I would like to do some bank transactions. So if I click on the ICICI button, I can go to the app or the official website. Or if I want to find the nearest ATM, I can just click nearby and it'll take me and do an automatic search on Google Maps. Similarly, we have built this for different services. And again, if you notice, no two quick menu is the same. It's all contextual and differs from services to services. And when you click, you can find the service that you need with just a single tap, right from your messaging app. So in MIUI 10, we'll be supporting over 100 such services, and over a period of time, with the help of Mi fans, we will add more and more to it. So that's MIUI 10. It's designed for a full screen experience, keeping in mind the new aspect ratios. We also have a video to summarize what we spoke about. Let's take a look. Thank you. So that's MIUI 10. We have improved on the speed and responsiveness of the overall operating system. We have redesigned the whole operating system, keeping in mind the new age full screen and the new aspect ratios. We have embedded nature's sound and ambient noises across the system. We also are introducing AI Portrait, which works both for a single lens and a dual lens, and a lot of India customization specific for Mi fans here in India. So you might be wondering, when are you getting this on your device? So this is a plan. We'll be rolling out the beta in June for all these devices, and this includes all the global devices also. And over a period of time, we will introduce in the stable build in future. So with that, I would ask Manu to come back on stage. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Okay, so Redmi Y2, what is the price? When is this being launched? So the 2 devices that we spoke about during the selfie comparison, they were Vivo V9, which sells at about 20,000 to 25,000 rupee, Samsung J7 Duo, which is about 16,000 rupee. And we also compared Redmi Y2 with many other selfie-focused phones. Devices like Honor 9 Lite, Moto G6, Samsung Galaxy J6, and some of these have been recently launched. And you'll see on the processor side, this is probably the best processor that you can get in the market. Battery is very similar, and we consciously chose all 332 variants for easy comparison. Rear camera, probably one of the best with 12+5. Selfie camera, 13 megapixel AI selfie. And each of these devices have been launched at either 11,000 or around 14,000. And we are launching a Redmi Y2, the 332 variant at 9999. So less than 10,000 rupee. I don't think there's any other device, to the best of my knowledge, which has a Snapdragon 600 series, AI-based 16 megapixel selfie camera, and a great dual camera in this price range, less than 10,000 rupees. We also have a 4GB, 64GB variant, which will be available at 12,999. This is being launched in partnership with Amazon, which means this is an Amazon exclusive product. This will be available starting next week, which is 12th of June, on Mi.com, Amazon, and Mi Home stores. And subsequently, this will also be available across all our Mi preferred partners. We have two special offers for our Mi fans. The first one is from our telecom partner, Airtel. So all customers who will buy an Airtel and use an Airtel SIM on Redmi Y2 will get an 1800 rupee instant cashback and 240 GB worth of extra data. Plus, on the launch date, which is 12th of June, all ICICI Bank customers, whether credit card or debit card holders, will get an instant cashback of rupees 500. So that's Redmi Y2, guys. Let me just quickly summarize. A great AI-based front camera, 16 megapixel, an amazing AI dual camera, 12 megapixel plus 5 megapixel with 1.25 micron pixels, a great Snapdragon 625 processor with 40 nanometer FinFET technology, 5.99 inch 18:9 full screen display, AI-based face unlock, and a really beautiful, gorgeous device. And we have Katrina Kaif, who will be endorsing this particular product. That's all, guys. Thank you for joining in. We can actually do a photo op here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to request our colleagues from the media and our VIP guests to proceed